This next section I'd like to read is about my arrival in New York. It's called Start Spreading the News. My first full day in the Big Apple, I had filed the paperwork for the transfer of funds from my bank accounts in Philadelphia to my new account in New York. A couple of days later, I had run out of all the cash that I had and attempted to make a withdrawal at the bank, when I was informed that the transfer was not complete and the funds were not available. When I asked the teller when I would be able to withdraw cash, she said it would be within a couple of days, hopefully. As I didn't have a credit card, this marks the only time in my life when I did not know where my next meal was coming from. It was the only time I went to bed hungry. The next day, the transfer was complete, so I treated myself to breakfast at a traditional New York City diner. One of the first things I did after settling into my new home was to find my way to the nearest women's bar. The Duchess used to be on the corner of 7th Avenue and Christopher Street in the West Village. I had even made my way there when I came to town on one of those preliminary trips to search for housing. I remember seeing a young, tall, beautiful black woman usually standing toward the back of the bar. I didn't know her name, but she was there frequently. A few years later, when I ran into one of the bartenders from the Duchess, she said to me, "Yeah, you used to come back when Whitney Houston used to hang out there. She used to be there all the time." Whitney Houston. I knew her face looked familiar when her first album came out, but when I'd seen her at the bar, she wasn't wearing any makeup. In fact, she looked a little butch in her leather jacket and hair pulled back. It was such a tragedy to lose her the way we did. Several have said, including her ex-husband, that if she had been free to live her truth, she might not have become addicted to drugs in the first place. The pressure to be married to a man and stay in the closet took its toll on her psyche daily. Robin Crawford was her support system and never should have been forced to leave her side. I learned just recently that young Vladimir Horowitz used to put on makeup and hang out in sailors' bars in the port cities of Europe. His friend and mentor, Sergei Rachmaninoff, used to give him a hard time about being gay and told him to stop. It always amazes me how some heterosexuals think that being gay is a choice. The only actual choice is be gay and be happy, or pretend to be straight or celibate and be miserable. Which would you choose? If you would like to see more clips from the Noshing with Nina show, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.